Hey, how you doing? Yeah, no, that's great. Okay, cool. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started. It looks like everybody's here. That's gonna be part of the panel, and I see Mr. Tony Kinnon over there. Just a bride. Thank you, Mr. Tony, for coming. I'm Haley Sims. I'm actually the one who created this town hall meeting. I'm the one who kind of initiated it, kind of the wheel spinning for this to be able to happen. We want to go ahead and thank Magnolia School for hosting us tonight. Thank you to Miss PJ Sudi. She didn't have to be here, but she thought actually it would be a really good idea if she was, just because a lot of this meeting is because of what's happening here at Magnolia. So thank you, Miss Sudi, for allowing us to be able to have the town hall meeting here tonight. So thank you. Thank you for uh, thank you for coming tonight. I know that it was a weeknight, and I know that it was kind of last minute. We've only did it in the last 2 weeks, so I appreciate you being able to come, make the time. Thank you so much to Fred Astaire also for bringing the donuts. He did not have to do that. I really thank you, Mr. Fred. We will be having refreshments. You can get some coffee and donuts right now. If you've already grabbed it, that's great. If not, if you could just sit in your seats, and we'll get to the refreshments at the end of the meeting. The purpose of this town hall meeting is so that we can discuss what's been going on with Magnolia School, especially with the vaping and the juuls that are coming and they're being brought in by the students. It kind of was just an issue with a couple of students doing this. Now it's kind of portrayed itself as a massive problem in the Foley area. We're going to go ahead and talk about what we can do as this school and what you can do as a community to be able to help stop selling juuls and stop handing them out to children and such. We have Brian Hamlin and Michelle Grant that are going to be able to be on our panel tonight. They're going to be up here alongside Tony Kinnon, who's going to help us be able to answer questions, know that what they're doing in the community and what you can do in the community. So it's not just for the conversation that we're having tonight is not just myself, but it is with other people that are in the community outside of the school and can help us. Mr. Tony Kinnon came down from Orange Beach. Thank you, Mr. Tony Kinnon. We really appreciate you being able to take time out of your busy schedule, come over to our school, put your 2 cents into the conversation that's being had. Mr. Tony is our mayor of Orange Beach, and he is wonderfully engaged with the community and is always speaking and always out there talking to his people. And just really thought that it would be really special for him to be able to come and talk to you and get this ball rolling on for this, especially for the state of Alabama, to be able to X out juuls and vaping in our area. On the agenda tonight, we are going to read a letter that is being sent to, it was already sent to the Secretary of Education for the state of Alabama to ask if they'll help with for some of you have heard that BCBE, Baldwin County Board of Education, has actually sued Juul to make it where they can, or not sued, but they have put out a lawsuit against them that is asking that they can't sell it here in the state of Alabama. Now this has been really recent, but the letter that was sent to the Secretary of Education has been created to help encourage them to actually also abide by what's going on with the lawsuit. So we'll read that letter to you tonight. We will be asking, we'll let the panelists talk, Brian Hamlin and Michelle Grant. The panelists will talk, and they'll put their 2 cents in on what we can do in the community about having juuls and vaping and all those other things not allowed to be sold in our area. Then we'll have Mr. Tony Kinnon, our special speaker. Also, he's going to portray what we can do as a community to be able to have everybody understand the severity of this and know that we can't do it anymore by selling those to adults here in Alabama and giving them to the children. So Mr. Tony Kinnon, he's going to be able to be available for questions too. After Mr. Tony talks, we will be opening a mic for anybody that would like to ask questions and or anything really. Just if it has anything to do with the school and the juuling and the vaping, those questions will be asked after Tony talks. After we have our questions, we are going to go ahead and dismiss. And like I said, you can thank Mr. Fred Astaire for bringing in the donuts, and you can grab some on your way out, have a cup of coffee. And again, I thank you so much for being here. I know it's a weeknight, I know it's late, but I appreciate you being here, so thank you. All right, so just to go ahead and get started with the vaping in our school. So we've, as a 5th grade teacher here at Magnolia, we've been having more problems with students actually bringing vapes to school. They're found in people's backpacks. Now, we're not allowed to search a backpack or anything. We're not doing that. We're not gonna, let me see your backpack. No, we're not doing that. We have, we have tattletellers everywhere, and they're just, they're obsessed with telling on their friends, but forbidden if they do something themselves. But we've had a lot of tattletellers, and we've found vapes. We've actually had 3 instances in the last month where students were actually caught vaping at the school. One was recently, actually last week, ended up with a 8-person suspension. They had the vape out at PE, and they were just blowing it. So it's a common problem in our school, even for the smart kids that are not smoking or vaping or whatever. They still have them. They're actually selling them. 6th grade, we've had a lot of problems with them bringing in vapes to school and actually selling them in large quantities. Last week, what was it? It was Mr. D was going for like $30 a vape or something. Outrageous, obviously, and just it's outrageous that these students actually have the capability of even having that amount of things to be able to sell. We found in this instance, this circumstance, the older sibling of the child selling it was the one that was actually supplying, and she was making $5, and the sister was making $5. So, in the end, we can't really do anything because it's the sibling handing it to them. It's it's not even a parent or anything like that. So that's what the problem we've got going on right now. A lot of our students really don't understand that there's a harm. Vaping is so new that everybody really kind of thinks that it's just the cool thing to do. Nobody really knows what it's really doing to your bodies or anything like that. So when we teach, we're like, it's just basically like a cigarette. They come around, no, it's better for you and all that stuff. But we really don't know what's going to be happening to our bodies with the vaping. First of all, you're not supposed to be smoking until you're 18. Second of all, it says it in our bylaws at school, and they sign one, the parent does and the student does, and says that you will not bring it on campus and you will not smoke it. But it's still happening. So the lawsuit that we have with Baldwin County, and this was recent, this was only two months ago, I believe, that the lawsuit is actually going against the Juul company and stating that they actually cannot be sold in the state of Alabama. This would be essential to help provide an environment in our location in Foley and our surrounding areas to know that we cannot even sell a Juul. We would hope and pray that the amount of people smoking and bringing them into the classrooms would actually decrease, hopefully by 100%. We've got states surrounding us that are also will be able to still sell them, but we're hoping that by having that lawsuit and having it where we can't sell it in the state of Alabama, it would actually decrease the number of students that can get a hold of them, really. Do we already have some questions? Okay, yeah, here you go. Go ahead. No, it's okay. Right. All right. Well, Okay. Yeah, I get it. All right. So if you couldn't hear it, the question is, how will the Secretary of Education have any part in the lawsuit? Well, the Secretary of Education actually does have a lot to say in what is allowed to be, required in school, what the consequences are and such. By having them support us, they are, they're part of Alabama. They're part of the government of Alabama. So by having them step in and help with our local lawsuit of, Baldwin County, BC, it really, I don't really know how to put it, but it gives it a bunch of oomph, like to be able to actually have, we're just mediocre little people. We don't have a lot to say. We're only in our little community. So by having the Secretary of Education back and them having the support to make sure that, it follows through and that they take the right process on, really truly getting Jewel to be out of the state of Alabama, they provide a substantial amount of, there's a word. Yeah, we'll come back to that one. But yes, they'll be able to support us in a way that we need to have to be able to continue on with the lawsuit. All right. Yeah. Mhm. Right. No, yeah, I can see that why you would think that it might be an issue. Right. Yeah. So his question was, there's a lot of parents that do vape themselves. Will it be an issue? Do you think that we're going to have parents that are going to be basically not allowing us to continue in the path that we need to with the lawsuit? I do think we are going to have parents that are going to be difficult to work with, obviously for reasons as because they're the ones that are vaping themselves, so they're going to be annoyed because they won't, now they'll have to travel over to Mississippi to go get their vapes and stuff. Yeah, I could see how that could. Yeah, no, that's a good observation. Yeah, well, actually, hey Carol, would you make an will you take note of that? It's actually that's something that we actually probably would need to go ahead and focus on, and that's really important for us to go ahead and yeah. No, that'd be great. Thanks, Carol. Yeah, we'll discuss it in our next meeting. Yeah, no, that was a good question. Thank you. Yeah, because that is a concern. We want to be respectful to everybody. We want anybody to feel discriminated against just because we're vaping or anything. So no. I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks. Okay. All right. Any other questions before we move on? I'm gonna go ahead and let the panelists. I know we got our agenda messed up a little bit, but that's okay. Go ahead and let the panelists talk. Then Mayor Kennan is going to talk, and then, yeah, if you have any other questions, you feel free to ask. Okay? Thanks. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Mr. Tony Kennan. Yep, we appreciate you being here. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming this evening. Again, I know it's with the rain and everything. Oh, that reminds me. Did anybody see Harold Moore come in? Is he here? Oh, no, that's okay. He was actually going to be he had actually asked us to be on the panel. He felt like he had a lot of a part to say. He's our actual local sheriff. Yeah, our local deputy. Yeah. No, he's our local deputy that's always here at school, and he has a lot to say. So no, it's okay. He obviously got called away. That's fine. But I thank you so much on behalf of Mr. Tony Kennan coming in. We want to go ahead and give him his thank you. We heard that your favorite restaurant was Cat's Cantina, so here you go. We really appreciate you coming in. Thank you. Noel, that sums up for the town hall meeting. So I hope you have a great night. Thanks again for coming out. It's been a real treat to see that we have the support here in our community. I think we've got something here. And I can't wait to see you again, have our next town hall meeting. Thank you for the support. Have a great night, everybody.